everyone, it's your girl Shay here, and I'm back with another video for you guys for Wednesday. And in this video, I decided to bring up the topic of who is more useless, Sakura from Naruto or Orihime from Bleach. And I know there's been tons of topics of people talking about Sakura in Naruto and how they felt like she was very useless as a character in the entire series, and even pitting her against Hinata. And as far as Orihime is concerned, I haven't really heard of anything regarding people feel like she's a useless character, just more so about the fact that she's kind of an airhead, and they kind of feel like Rukia should have ended up with Ichigo instead of her. But for me, I decided to pit these two against each other because I felt like they were two characters in a series that I didn't always understand why they were there. I understand they were there just to push along the series or to kind of be a love interest, which, as we realized, Sakura was a love interest for Naruto up to a certain point. And of course we have Orihime, who basically her love interest was Ichigo during the entire series. But what I looked at mostly was kind of the powers that these two characters kind of had during the series. Did they overcome any obstacles along the way during the entire series? And I also kind of took into effect also personality. So I decided to go with that as well. And that's also like a separate aspect, to be completely honest with you. But I feel like personality does come into play because I kind of made it seem why some of these characters, or Orihime, was a little bit more likable than Sakura was. But let's get started. Starting with Sakura, at the beginning of the series, you kind of see that she's like a lovesick child. She loves Sasuke. But as far as her powers are concerned, you realize she is greatly lacking. So Sakura is actually not very good at taijutsu. So when it comes to fighting, she realizes pretty early that Naruto and Sasuke have to save her a lot. So she's like this weird damsel in distress kind of a character. But I started to realize, especially while reading up more about Sakura, that she realized this, and it wasn't like she never did and she was just put into the series. No, Sakura realized this, which is why she decided to train under Tsunade, who became Hokage of the Leaf Village. She trained a lot to be a medical ninja. I'm probably saying that word wrong, but she trained under that, and she actually was really, really good at Genjutsu, which I'm also probably saying that wrong as well. Do not flame me in the comments. I apologize, it's been a long time since I've seen Naruto. But anyway, she became super, super big at that, and actually many people felt that she was going to surpass Tsunade with her training, and ultimately she did. It is even said by Boruto, Naruto's son, that Sakura could actually take over for Naruto in being Hokage. So Sakura, to me at least, overcame a lot. She realized where her weaknesses were and decided to basically play to what her strengths were. And over time, she actually became such a more powerful and less useless character. While some people probably want to digress, they probably feel like she was just a terrible character overall, I feel like Sakura acted like any other kid that age who was in love with somebody. So of course sometimes kids are mean, but I also felt like though it wasn't very wise of her and very smart of her to realize that she was holding her team behind and she wanted to do something to move her team forward, which meant trying to strengthen herself in other ways that were going to be helpful to her team, since she knew that fighting was not her strong suit. Now going to Orihime, which, as many of you guys know, Orihime is from Bleach. Her love interest was Ichigo, and I also had to look up a little bit more about Orihime to figure out if she had any strengths or weaknesses that she had to, or mostly weaknesses, that she had to overcome. So of course Orihime's power came from her hairpins that she wore in her hair that were a gift from her older brother Sora before he passed away. Now through the hairpins, she actually can use like the guardians, or however they want to phrase it, that live in her hairpins and shout out different terms, plus I reject, and they are used for attack, defense, and also for healing. Now, to be honest, I actually felt that this kind of made her a pretty useless character, since at the beginning of the series, you don't see her use these items a whole lot, and there's a period of time where actually she doesn't use her hairpins at all. So to me, it was like, that is literally the only thing that you can do, and you don't know how to use it. But I feel like the only thing that actually made her pretty less of a useless character was when she was kidnapped, once again spoiler, by Aizen, and pretty much used for her healing aspect towards his Iran cards, which was mostly healing Grimjow when he lost his arm in a battle. So I feel like from there she has parts of herself that are actually not as useless as a character, but it it's just a lot to probably just to take in with her, especially when you see all the characters around her that have such amazing powers. Now there is another arc later on in the series when Ichigo has lost his powers. Once again, spoiler. But she and Chad also develop new powers since Ichigo does not have his anymore, which, granted, is pretty good. Now, overall, if I have to say which one of them is the most useless character, I'm sorry, I have to go with Orihime. This is mostly because Orihime doesn't actually have a progression of herself as a character. She keeps pretty much the same exact powers over time. She doesn't have any weaknesses that you can see of, or she doesn't have any like revelation that she needs to get better as an attacker. It seems like she's more so just kind of used to being the person that kind of just goes after Ichigo whenever anything goes wrong, and she's pretty much used to like being that like side character kind of role. And besides the Roncar arc, there's no other arc where she pretty plays a big pivotal part. This is mostly though, like I mentioned before, due to her healing aspect during that entire arc that Isaac basically wanted to cultivate to help him in the long run. Now, when it comes to later on, like when I said when she did get another power, still, it just wasn't enough for me. On the other hand, like I mentioned, I feel like Sakura is less useless because she actually knew how to overcome her weakness to help better, not just her team, but also her entire village. Now, as far as personalities is concerned, I feel like Orihime wins in that department. This is because Sakura starts off, of course, kind of really annoying. She picks on Naruto all the time. She doesn't like Naruto at all. And now also, when it gets further on in the series, she actually starts to use Naruto liking her to her advantage in a more manipulative way. There's a particular scene in Naruto where she starts to kind of like seduce Naruto in a strange way, all because she knows that Naruto is like the hero of the Leaf Village at this time. He has a lot going for him, and so many people are liking him a lot more, and she takes advantage of this and tries to basically manipulate the situation, which basically has their how can I put it, they're not really their guardian, but the person that's over their team, which I forgot his name off the top of my head, I am so sorry, but he actually confronts Sakura about this and basically calls her out on it, which I thought was amazing. And actually that made me really not like her as a character, because it was like, how do you manipulate a situation like that? That's just terrible. But now when it comes to Orihime, I feel like she's the better of the characters due to personality, because so many people liked her. So many people wanted to pair up with different characters. So many people loved how cute and sweet she was. People loved how much of an airhead she was. And also they loved her comedic timing throughout the entire series, which was like pretty much her strange affinity for food and how she wasn't good at cooking, and the stuff she put together was just disgusting. But also the way that all the characters in the entire show just gravitated towards her, and you also kind of felt for her as a character when she started to realize that Ichigo seemed to like Rukia, or was more attached to Rukia than she was to her, which was heartbreaking to see, but we all were like, I'm sorry, I want Ichigo to be with Rukia. But overall, those are the two, that's basically my video. That is why I think Sakura really isn't as useless as a character as many of us assume to be, and I feel like Orihime is much more useless of a character than we all thought she was or think she was, just because of the fact that her personality kind of overtook the fact that she really didn't do a lot or do much during the entire Bleach series. What do you guys think? Do you guys feel that Sakura doesn't get enough credit, or do you feel like Orihime is not as useless as a character as I feel that she is, or do you feel like Sakura is still a useless character and you feel like she shouldn't have been in Naruto? But let me know by commenting down below. And plus, you guys remember that me recording this video is pretty much based off of my opinion. I'm not saying this is correct. I'm just saying this is what I felt and these were my thoughts, because I've always heard about this debate with Sakura being a useless character, and I, of course, as you can see, feel differently. But alright, you guys, that's my video. Like always, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will leave links down below to all my social media accounts, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my blog as well. So check those out, and I'll have a new video out for you guys on Saturday. And of course, click the bell icon to turn on post notifications so you're notified when I come out with a new video, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Alright, you guys, like always, like I always say, you guys, stay positive and be nerdy. Alright, you guys, bye.